Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sportycast Football. This is episode 151 of the 343 podcast. My name is Riaz Parker. I am your host this evening, and I'm joined by my colleagues AF and Jason. AF, how's it going this evening?
I'm doing well, man. Not too bad, not too shabby after the past weekend. But yeah, can't complain.
You seem fairly low energy for someone that played so well this weekend.
Dude, it's hot, man. Like the heat is taking all the energy out of me.
I'll take that excuse. Jason, how's it going, my man?
Buongiorno! That is the only Italian I picked up last night. Good evening. I am good. I'm happy to be here. In a bit of an absence, I've had some Wi-Fi issues over the last few weeks. But yeah, happy to be here. My team is putting me through the most, but in a good way. So yeah, I am here and I'm ready to chat.
All the way back from Italy, you say. Lovely stuff. Lovely to hear that. We also have Kenny on the podcast this evening, our guest, Kenny Apane. Welcome and happy that you're here. How are you doing, my friend?
Thank you. Thank you for the invite. And I'm doing well. I just beat Manchester City. I like to call them Manchester Chitty because of the allegations. But hey,
yeah,
it's been a lovely week so far. So yeah, looking forward to the upcoming game.
I'm sure it has been an amazing week for you guys. I like the nickname there. I've been asking in the group chat as well, like our group chat that we have. I mean, what's going on with those allegations? But we have to move on, I suppose. I don't know if we're going to get that anytime. Come some solutions to that anytime soon. So we'll have to see what happens there. But thank you to all you guys in the chat who are here at the moment. Make sure that you have your messages coming through. We'll read them if you have any questions for us as well. And this episode will be quite to the point. We're going to debrief a little bit about AFCON. We're going to have a bit of a Premier League debrief as well. We'll cover the Manchester derby as well. And then we'll look forward to the Arsenal and Manchester United preview for this upcoming week. Have any pull-ups from you?
No, thank you. I literally just said like the heat is like draining all my energy and now I have to do pull-ups for you guys. Absolutely not. We'll leave the pull-ups when you come through that door. Then the pull-ups will be your ticket into the stream.
I'm not sure I can reach that pull-up or AF. I'm quite a short king, but unfortunately, if that's the price you have to pay.
That's how we jump. We have springs in our steps. We jump.
Okay, I'll get me a chair. It's Yolanda Zere. Thank you so much for being here. She's, of course, they are saying hello to Kenny. And Ramiz, of course, is here, and AQ as well in the chat. Thank you guys all for joining us this evening. If you can, drop a like before we begin. That would be much appreciated. But let's start with some AFCON before we get to Premier League. Let's start with some AFCON. Of course, the final was this past weekend. It was Morocco against Senegal. AF, I mean, it's difficult to look into it without talking about the, of course, the drama that happened towards the end of the game. First of all, I want to ask you, AF, was it a penalty in your eyes?
I've seen that given as penalties so many times. So if I'm going on consistency in my mind, I would call that a penalty. But also what happened a few minutes before that, where VAR didn't intervene, that's also like what, where's the measuring stick over here? Like, what are we trying to do in terms of fair play? And I mean, the fact that Morocco got fair play at the end of it is a bit weird. But just the fact that like there's a bit of inconsistency. I think the call a few minutes earlier should have been in Senegal's favor, and then obviously like you said, the penalty I think was a penalty, a soft penalty, but a penalty nonetheless.
Okay, that's interesting. Kenny, did you catch any of the AFCON? How was the tournament for you as a whole?
Yeah, I definitely did. I watched the majority of the tournament, even though after Bafana got eliminated, it was kind of difficult to follow up on the tournament the following day. But I watched it. I watched the rest of it. I enjoyed it. I really thought it was a great tournament. However, I still think the previous one was much better in terms of like the feel. Like it felt like an AFCON tournament. This one, like the infrastructure and everything was great, but yeah, there was a lot of controversies. You could tell that Morocco were desperate for that tournament. It's been 50 years for them, and they had to like resort to some daily tactics. And in terms of the final, yeah, that was quite a controversial final. And yeah, the reason that they didn't award or look at the VAR for the Senegal goal is because the referee blew the whistle way before the ball went in. So VAR couldn't really look at it, and it was quite controversial. You should have waited for the moment to happen, then you have to look at it. But in terms of the penalty, I guess it is a penalty in the modern day. I guess it is, but it was so soft for me. I would much rather have kept it at 0-0 until like extra time and let's see how the game goes. But yeah, it was a great tournament overall.
That was, man.
Oh yeah, the goal was impressive. Like the build up to that goal, what Sadio Mane did there with the back heel pass, like Sadio Mane is he's a legend, man. Like and he rightfully got awarded the player of the tournament. I think he deserved it in the end. He edged it, and yeah, but yeah, the fair play award was just a disgrace. Hilarious, like people who were stealing towels. Now you gotta steal towels to win the fair play award. Yeah. Hilarious, man.
I mean, that was just ridiculous, and obviously it came out afterwards on the socials, the tactics that they were reverting to, in terms of Edouard Mendy's towels and the ball boys getting involved and all of those types of things. But Jason, just in terms of you, how did you feel when the kind of the team, the Senegal team, walked off the field?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it very often. You actually protest corruption live and direct. Like I think, like Kenny alluded to, Morocco were out to win that tournament by any means necessary. And yeah, I was quite happy that they actually took a stand. I've never seen it really, or can't really recall. But yeah, credit Sadio Mane, bring them back onto the field. I think he was prepared to fight it. Definitely a different story. If Brahim Diaz scores that penalty, I don't think Mane wins player of the tournament. Literally one action changes a whole country's outcome, and then also just their own personal outcome as well. So yeah, it was very interesting to see. I think the reaction to the coach now being suspended is completely overdrawn. It's completely blown out of proportion. Okay, maybe it's not blown out of proportion, but I think it's the most extreme outcome for this instance. So yeah, I mean, shout out Senegal, man. Excellent team, really good crop of both experienced players, young and upcoming players, and then that middle gap, of guys that have been a bit of a journeyman in that Europe area. So I think they're set for a bit, but yeah, have to concur, Kenny. As soon as Bafana went out, it's like, here goes the excitement. So yeah.
Yeah, it was really a tournament. Sorry, AFK.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, can we just speak about Papi Gay's left foot? I mean, the guy doesn't even need a backlift. He doesn't need a wind up or anything. He just generates an enormous amount of power. It's crazy.
Now that
guy was like watching Simpiwe Shabalala videos for sure. Before the game,
and there was a lot of anger with that effort, man. You could tell that they were quite angry. He just unleashed it. Bono stood no chance, and Bono had quite a remarkable tournament, to be honest. Even in the game, he made some lovely saves. There was that one penalty save with one hand, like against Nigeria in the previous game. So for him to concede such a goal, it has to be like a remarkable goal.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that I would just want to just allude to now. When you look at the two teams, right, and AF spoke about Papi Gay's goal, but for a large part of those teams, I mean, both teams, most of the players are European-based, if not all of them. So you look at the quality that they have, but even a guy like Brahim Diaz, who previously played for Spain, I think the Senegal right back played for France at under 20 level, and he's probably only like 22. So there's a lot of depth that these other nations could have had So I'm very glad that despite the quality and most of the players playing in Europe, that there's more of a pool now going to actually play for your, I wouldn't say country of birth, but choosing one of your
Yeah.
parents' nationalities and actually sticking to that. So it's really good. I think it can only do good for African football as a whole. So yeah, I think that was just the technical quality that was on display is a testament to these guys plying their trade overseas, but still representing African countries, which is amazing.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, that's what's going to kind of just raise the level of African football in general as well. So it's really good to see that. Just before I get to my last question about this to AF, I just want to kind of highlight what Kenny and sort of a little bit what Jason was saying there about Sadio Mane. And like we were saying now, the team obviously took a stand against the corruption and they took a walk off the field. Mane stayed on the field. He spoke to a couple of people. And he was the one that went to go fetch the team, right? He was the one that went to go fetch the team to tell them, look, guys, this is enough. And literally, he wasn't even in there for 10 seconds. He wasn't in there for like 15 seconds. He walked in there, and the leader that he is, everybody followed him out because everybody was probably really annoyed. Yeah, the amount of respect they have for him. He wasn't even, the whole team was so annoyed, but he wasn't even in there for 10 seconds to call them back out, and they were all filing out. No one against what he was saying. Everyone respected what he was saying. Everybody's back out in an instant. So just showing the kind of level of person that Sadio Mane is to kind of lead his team back out like that was really incredible to see. But the last question that I want to ask you, AF, actually all of you can chip in on this, but I'll go to AF first, is that the last controversy that I've seen online is that the penalty was missed on purpose.
I don't buy that. Absolutely not. I don't buy it. Like, people are coming up with all of these stories, and I think that's just what they are. I just think they are stories, and people are trying to come up with a narrative as to how poor of a penalty kick that was, and why did he Panenka and stuff like that. So I think that they're trying to come up with their own sort of fairy tale ending as in their head as to like why he missed it and why he did that.
Yeah, Kenny, I mean, if you were on the 96th minute and you have to take the penalty to kind of win the tournament for your team, are you going to Panenka it down the middle?
No way, man. Unless your name is Zinedine Zidane, you don't attempt Panenka and like a ball in a final. Like, you are not Zinedine Zidane. And you know what's funny? Like, there is a video that was also doing the runs. I think he was playing for Spain under 17.
Yeah.
Actually attempted the same Panenka with his right foot. Because the other controversy, or like the other rumor, is that he should have taken it with his left foot because he's naturally left-footed. So people are saying, because he took it with his right foot, it was actually on purpose. But he actually did the exact same Panenka for the Spanish junior teams. And he scored in that game, but it was as weak as that Panenka. And the irony is there was another Panenka that Edward Mendy saved, and was against Sergio Aguero. So if he can save a Panenka from Sergio Aguero, who is Brahim Diaz? Like, yes, I know he plays for Real Madrid, but like, come on, man. This is Sergio Aguero, one of the greatest goal scorers in the history of football. And now it's Brahim Diaz attempting that in the 96th minute. Like, your country hasn't won the AFCON in 50 years. And your first thought is, hey, let me try this arrogant stunt. Nah, man, I think he deserved that. Like, I felt bad for him for a bit, because obviously when the cameras were gazing at him, he was crying and he looked all sad. But after that, like, in hindsight, when I look back on it, it was stupid. Like, it was just blatantly stupid.
It's not smart at all, and I'm glad that you think so highly as a United fan, even of Sergio Aguero, because I mean, I pick Sergio Aguero up all the time on this channel. He's one of my favorite strikers of all time. But genuinely, even Zinedine Zidane, like you were alluding to there, in a final, he did Panenka it and he scored, but came off the bar and it was very close. So I mean, even then, like, the masters are a struggle. Do you guys think that Mane is bigger African legend than Salah after this win? Jason, I'll close that to you.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, trophies, trophies. Hey, yeah. I think he kind of cements it now. Although Salah did try and drag Egypt there, Yeah, I think probably Mane, then Benny McCarthy, and then everybody else.
But okay, let me pose this to you. Do you think Mo Salah does what Mane did on Sunday night, bringing players back out,
Oh,
trying to ensure that the match finishes, getting his players to rally behind him? Do you think Mo Salah does the
that's a
exact
good
same thing
question.
in the same situation?
Oh, Kenny, I'm gonna give that to
Um,
you.
Look, I'm gonna be biased. I don't think you would. I don't think you would. And the reason I'm saying this is because he's also North African. Like North Africans, when there's an injustice to when they feel like there's an injustice towards them, like they will walk out. Like I like
hmm,
if if like if Morocco was playing against Senegal in Senegal and they were disallowed a goal like Senegal were, I think they also would have staged a walkout themselves. And like especially with all the stuff that's happening with in terms of like how Senegal felt Morocco were not protecting them security wise prior to the final. And there were a lot of like other shady stuff that they did, and obviously the towel
Yeah.
stealing in the match. I'm telling you right now, a North African side, your Tunisia, your Morocco, your Egypt, those
Yeah.
guys would also stage a walkout. And I think Salah would have been the main guy saying, let's get out of here. Like he would have said, let's get out of here. He would have left that pitch. Yeah. And yeah, it suffered consequences after. That's just
Yeah.
my opinion.
Jason.
yeah, probably
You.
if he had his way, he would have tried to take the penalty. That's just the kind of guy Salah is. But yeah, 100% agree with Kenny. There's sort of an idea that they have that they're not really African, right? They're really like lower European. So if they feel this injustice, like Kenny says, they are gone. Salah shaped frame in the wall through the changing room, grab his bag, gone. Yeah, it's obviously hard to speculate, but you kind of lean towards him, yeah, not doing what Mane did for sure.
Yeah, I'm extremely biased in this as well. I love Sadio Mane a lot more than I love Mohamed Salah, so I'm gonna say that Mane is definitely a bigger, a bigger African legend than Salah after that win, especially because of what he did, like we all covered now. But a great tournament nonetheless. I mean, it was a great AFCON, even though South Africa went out earlier. It was really good to watch. Controversies aside, and for me, the right team won at the end of the day. And yeah, with the controversies, it was a great final to watch as well. A great goal to end it off, and yeah, a good tournament as a whole. So really enjoyed it. Moving on from the AFCON now to the Premier League, and we're going to talk to you, AF, about your team because. Can you explain to me the difference? How can you explain to me how that happened, please? I would love to know.
It's all about the DNA, man. It's all about.
Uh,
I can't even say that with a straight face. I mean, I think the team took us all by surprise. I don't think any of us expected that. I don't think Man City expected that. And uh, I I enjoyed watching a full 90 minutes of Manchester United football for the first time in what felt like eons.
Yeah,
And like uh, both you and I, Riaz, we both said like we enjoyed like or we liked what Ruben was doing, but it just felt like there were shackles that were released from some of the players. Bear in mind that Ahmad and Buemo they came back. They had a couple of days rest as well, so they came back and they knew the Manchester derby was next. So yeah, they knew what the next task was. Um, but yeah, I think everybody just pulled together quite nicely. Carrick implemented whatever he needed to do in about 3 days. Just probably told his team to attack, and that's exactly what they did. And they just made Ryan Cherky chase the ball as well for about 10 seconds, which was amazing to watch.
I mean that just seems targeted, but I'm going to glaze over that very quickly. Kenny, just in terms of the difference between United before and after, because this hasn't been the first game, right, since Ruben is gone. We saw the Brighton game in the FA Cup that United got outplayed in, and then all of a sudden Carrick comes in. What was the main difference between kind of the United before and the United that you saw on Saturday?
Well, obviously, in terms of like the post Ruben Amorim era, I'll say the main difference was we took our chances and we managed to not concede. I think that is the major difference, because the game against Burnley with Fletcher, when he came in, we did create quite a lot of chances. I felt like we should have won that game. There was obviously the controversy regarding the Martinez goal. Even the Premier League just recently released a statement where they said there was a mistake made there. VAR should have actually awarded the goal. But besides that, in that game, we deserved to win. We had a lot of chances. I think that Dogu had a chance cleared off the line. There was another one, we hit the post, and Chesko got his brace, but we ended up drawing 2-2, and it was from 2 shots on target. Whereas in this game against Manchester City, everything was in sync. It was in sync. Defense, they were in order. The midfield was in order. Players didn't have to do too much. And also what I like, if I was to speak about major differences between now and the Ruben Amorim era, is that, you know, players will actually play to their best profiles. Like, this is your profile. Now we're gonna stick to your profile. We're not gonna force you to do extra work that you are not used to. Like, we don't have to see Ahmad at right wing back constantly having to defend. Kobe Mainu was in the lineup. And Bruno didn't have to be the one in a deeper midfield role. He was in his best attacking position. Bruno was doing what Bruno does best, creating chance after chance after chance. And yeah, you could say Mbeumo was the one who was out of position, but he's played as a striker before, and he said he doesn't mind playing as a striker. So in this game, it was just a perfect example of a manager keeping it simple, like the basics. Sometimes like my biggest gripe with some of the modern day managers, I'm sure you know Riaz as a Spurs fan, what's his name, Ange Postecoglou, like they're very strict in terms of their principles. Like, I want to stick to my principle, I want to stick to my system, even though it's not working out in the Premier League, I want to stick to it. And that was my biggest gripe with Ruben Amorim. Like, he wanted to stick to his principles no matter what. But now seeing us going back to a back 4, and also later on in the game, we did switch to a sort of like back 5 system in order to defend. I'm not against the back 5, but like, it's all about like just keeping the basics right. You know, like, just don't be stubborn as a coach, don't be stubborn as a manager. So that's what I enjoyed. Like, it was a great game for us. City only had 1 shot, I think, on target, just 1, and
yeah,
that is crazy to think of. I don't think they had a big chance created. So yeah,
I mean, it was really, I don't want to say cool, but it was really interesting to watch the game, because United, for me, completely outplayed them and came out of nowhere. Jason, did you catch the game at all?
Yeah, I caught a bit in the beginning, the middle, and the end. So yeah.
Okay, lovely.
He has to watch every United game now. He has.
No, so actually,
yes, I forgot. Sorry.
This is the thing. So we were heading to my folks' place, and my dad's a big Liverpool fan. So my lovely wife says, you know, she's actually not going to watch the game because she's there and she feels like it's bad luck. And then the first disallowed goal goes in. Then the second one goes in. And then actually, like, it was like really good football. So I'm not sure if that sets a precedent now that I always need to go to my folks to go watch United games. But yeah, it's just it was something else. And yeah, 100% agree with some of the comments, and then Kenny's points as well. You know, the players are in the positions that would best elevate what they bring to the game. And we've long said that Bruno shouldn't be holding. He needs to play in the 10. We see him in the 10, and not only is he making forward runs that are very disruptive to City's back line, but also being able to thread passes and bring players in. And that front line is very dangerous. Like, take nothing away from City or anything like that, right? But I mean, I think United still have a very decent attack. The only thing that probably stumbles them about is the fact that defense is so dysfunctional, and there's not a consistent centre-mid pairing. So that's why they concede goals by the bucket load. But look at that front line, and that's a front line that can rival most in the Premier League. So yeah, it was good to see. From a neutral perspective, also as an Arsenal fan, wanting City to lose, it was really good to say to have that. And then yeah, we just keep compounding on the Manchester cheaty.
I mean, I mean, it was really interesting to see as well. You guys are kind of alluding to the fact that the players are now in the right positions, but I want to bring kind of someone under the spotlight here, and that's Patrick Dorgu, because he is not a left winger, right? I suppose we don't know anymore because he might be, but he played, of course, on the left wing in that 4-2-3-1 system, and he played really well. I mean, not just where he found himself, what positions he found himself, but the effort that he put in the game, I thought was really, really impressive. And I think he kind of showed something different to his game, obviously popping up. He even knew in the attack, went to pop up to score the goal. He caught Rico Lewis unawares there on the back post, and he came in and scored a really good goal. So props to Patrick Dorgu, man. Like he's been also come under a lot of criticism for when playing in that wing-back role for his crossing and things like that. But I think he did really, really well on Saturday in that left wing role. And for me, he kept Sesko at the team. So that's always a great Saturday for me. Just in terms of Manchester City, though, AF, they lost last night as well. 3-1 to Bodo Glimt. Shocking result there. What do you think it's going to continue? What do you think is going wrong at the moment for City? I say what's going wrong. They have come off a really good run of form, but in the last two games, they kind of fallen off a little bit. What do you think is the issue there?
I think the injuries to Ruben Diaz and Vardiol, there could be a bit of a mentality thing over there with City, knowing that like two of their best defenders are now out. They have signed Mark Gay now, so I would assume that he makes his debut against Wolves this weekend. But yeah, I think the defensive fragility that they currently have plays a lot into what's been happening with them. Especially last night, they just looked a bit lost. And I mean, Rodri doing what he did in the space of like 3 minutes is a bit insane. Like somebody with his experience, he's been around the block, and to do what he did, knowing that his team was in the position that they were, it didn't make much sense to me. But yeah, I can see them bouncing back this weekend against Wolves. But yeah, the defensive issues, that's probably going to be priority for Pep right now.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that if there's a team that you want to play in the Premier League, if you want to bet on a form, that is not Tottenham Hotspur because they would be first. It is Wolves, which is
Man City. Oh, okay.
Well, I'm talking about Manchester City, so they have the second best matchup they can ask for this weekend against Wolves. So I guess we'll see if they can bounce back from that.
There's been on an unbeaten run now in the past like 3 or 4 games. They haven't lost in like 4 games, so they are building some momentum over there. So it might be that City's just having rotten luck.
It's possible. Michael in the chat saying, does last night's loss put an asterisk next to United's win over City? I'm going to come to you, Kenny, but I'm going to first answer this myself as a completely neutral party. As much as I would love to say, yes, it does put an asterisk because City are just bad. It's unfortunately not true because like the way United played was just unbelievable. Honestly, like they played a really good game of football. So I think no matter who they were playing against, they could have been playing against Liverpool, they could have been playing against PSG. No matter who they were playing against, I think the way that they played would have just, I think they would have won no matter who they played against, which is weird to say about a Manchester United team at this point. But yeah, Kenny, do you think that the City team, do you think them having injuries at the back kind of played into it, or do you think United deserve the win on the whole?
I think we deserve the win on the whole. Like, I think even if the defense had been strong, we would have given a good fight. Based on that performance, I think it would have been still a dominant performance because they still had their troops up front. Their midfield is still good. I mean, we can say Kusanov is a weak, but is a weak link, or he's not one of their best defenders. But they spent a lot of money on him. Money was spent on these players. They brought on what's his name, Nico Riley later on in the match. He's been quite good this season. Rico Lewis has got experience now. I expect him to perform a lot better. But maybe that is it. Alain Kidd, maybe Alain Kidd. You could say that was a weak link, but they still had Donnarumma there. It's still a strong team in my view, and I think we played relatively well. And they were on a 13 match unbeaten run. You cannot put an asterisk on somebody ending that sort of streak. It was a long streak, and they just went to St. James Park against Newcastle United in the Carabao Cup, and they won there. So in my view, I think we deserve that win. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily mean we are back because United has done this. United has beaten Liverpool. Ironically, even when we beat Liverpool in October. They went on this horrific run of games. Like I think they lost their next 5 games after that. Like even in the Champions League, they were losing to the likes of PSV. So maybe you need the United aura. Jason needs to be careful over there. The United aura might just come in and disrupt what's happening at the Emirates. So, you never know, because we end streaks. We are good at ending streaks, man. We ended the Anfield streak. We ended the Man City streak. But, let me not say much.
Let's keep that.
You said enough. Don't let Kenny come back again. I don't like this negative.
I'm sure. Jason, just in terms of, just before we go into the preview of Arsenal, Manchester United this weekend, you guys also dropped points this week. It wasn't just City, but not too many. It was a 0-0 draw at Forest. You guys obviously dominated the game, but kind of ended up with nothing to show for it. What went wrong kind of in the game? What was kind of the missing link there for you?
Yeah, I think, look, we are going to come against teams who are not really going to come out to play too much against us. So it's on us to figure out how to break it down. I think Saturday's game, we didn't present enough solutions to the problems that were placed there. I suppose a bit worried about the fact that we couldn't convert those half chances, which is something we did in the earlier parts of the season. But then you see a performance last night where when a team tries to play football and attack us, we can actually score some normal goals, normal. So, I'm not too concerned. I think it was probably the most taxing period we had in the last 10 days. We played 4 away games in 4 different cups, or 4 different competitions, rather. So, to come out there with 10 points, I think 3 wins and a draw, I'm not mad about it. And I can forgive them. There's some days where you're just not going to get it right. I think at the end, Marino, similar to the Liverpool one, where Gabriel scored right at the end, there was a chance Marino had. There's a few half chances and things like that, but it will come. It's not always going to click, but it is positive to know that when your team doesn't play well, you don't drop points to a dramatic extent where you lose the game, So we still take that 1 point. It's still 7 points more than what City and Villa had. And okay, we might not touch on the Everton Villa game, but that also made my weekend sweeter after we thought things were maybe going to go a bit bad, a bit more pressure. So, we just have to take it, man. It's a long season. You can't win it by Jan, but 7 points definitely puts you in a very good position to really cement something. So, yeah.
I'm glad you said a normal goal. I assume you mean not corner goals by that, or not.
Well, look, we got some open play goals last night. We got a corner goal. The thing that I'm upset about is that there was no own goal. So, I think we definitely have to go back to the drawing board and just check why we're not getting teams to score goals for us anymore. But I'm sure that's something Mikel Arteta will figure out.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because the team also is. I mean, it's really good. I mean, Gyökeres scored last night, which is good for him, I suppose. He's been a bit of a hit and miss. Martinelli as well, a bit of a hit and miss, but they're playing really well. Can you tell me maybe what's the situation with Eze? Because he hasn't started a lot of the games recently. So is it just Arteta kind of keeping him for a super sub situation, or what's the situation there?
Well, I mean, I love to be a fly on the wall for that situation, because obviously from the outside we see this amazing player that carried Palace to a first FA Cup in so many years and really carried Palace to a position where they were talking about him in such good light, and we still talk about that. I think maybe what Arteta is trying to do is trying to drill in a bit more of the out of possession stuff that Eze maybe didn't have to do.
Okay.
So the sort of tracking back that you want from the Arsenal players, once you lose it, to always be wary. I think he was really exposed in that Aston Villa game at Villa Park because Matty Cash's goal was Eze not following Matty Cash, and then from then I think there was another chance where Matty Cash, maybe before the goal came, it happened. So that was the first time. Then the second time we actually got punished. So yeah, I'm not too mad. Obviously, there's certain games that cries out for more central attacking, which maybe Odegaard doesn't give us, and that's what Eze can give us. But yeah, I think after so many years, I want to put my faith in Arteta. Maybe some of the rotations and maybe some of the combinations that he plays is something that he might see as what should work in the game, and he likes to factor in all these combinations and sort of chemistry that certain amount of players have together. Where we as the fan just want a player who's direct, who's going to shoot, who's going to try that through the middle sort of attack. But yeah, it is what it is, man. I think Eze is still going to have a big role to play in the season. Fortunately for me, and unfortunately for you, he had a big role to play in the North London derby. In that City game, he also came off the bench and created that thing for Martinelli. So yeah, I'm not too mad. Maybe a few more minutes, but yeah, everything within moderation.
We were going to talk about Arsenal a lot more, and I was hoping that North London derby wouldn't come up. But anyways, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I'll always bring it up.
Michael saying in the chat, my problem is that it is clear as day Eze brings in the attack when he plays. Really hoping we see more offensive stretch. I fully agree with you. But like Jason said, I think that's a really good point. I didn't think about that. The kind of off the ball stuff, the defensive work that he kind of has to be drilled into is probably what Arteta is looking for. Just before the last game that I want to get into, Jason alluded to it, just before we get into the preview for the game this weekend is that Aston Villa Everton game, which was very surprising to me. Of course, Aston Villa losing to Everton 1-0. It was an interesting game, actually. And I mean, are they pretenders? AF, they're the same points as City. They're 7 points behind. Do we actually see them making a realistic run at this title, or are we just going to see them fall away? But still, not too much. Still 3 and 4 towards the end of the season.
I don't think they will last the entire season. I think that they'll probably start fading away in about with about 10 matches to go. So that's quite soon. I really don't. I think that they've done well to get to the point that they are right now. But I think that we've seen this sort of stumble from Unai Emery before. Whether it was at previous teams and even at Aston Villa last season, he started off really well and then he just started to fade away as the season went on. So I think the only realistic rival I think Arsenal has is Man City. But at the moment they would need to pull up their socks quite a bit.
Yeah, and I mean they go to Newcastle this week, which is going to be ridiculously difficult. I mean, Newcastle hot and cold, but at St James Park it's wild there at that stage. And I think the issue with Aston Villa is also the squad. AF's left us, but the squad depth I think is the issue there, where they have good players, but they don't really have impact players that can come off the bench and actually do a decent job, especially when you need to rest players. But Kenny, just before we move on. Do you see them as being kind of title challengers, or do you also think that they're going to fall by the wayside to 3 or 4?
First of all, I'd like to say what they've done is quite remarkable based on how they started the season, because I think the first 6 games they lost, and then suddenly they just without scoring, which is quite funny. But they turn things around. The way they turn things around is remarkable. However, in terms of the title run, I do agree with AF that the most realistic challenger to Arsenal this season is Manchester City. And I'm glad, because I hate Liverpool. Their Liverpool is nowhere near the title charge. But what Aston Villa has done is remarkable. Maybe they might make the top 5. I think if they do, if they do fall off, they just need to maintain form that keeps them in the top 5. Like based on how they've done, they deserve to at least be in that top 5 run. But maybe also the manager of the month case is also at play because he just won it and loses the next game. Maybe that is also at play at the moment. But I also agree with you, Riaz, in terms of like, rapping with Amar. But I also agree with Riaz. Like Aston Villa in the last 2 seasons, they haven't really bought much. They've been curtailed by the FFP rules, FPSR rules. So they haven't really been able to spend that as much as they would have loved to after going into the UEFA Champions League. So the majority of the squad is players that have been there, that know how to play under Emery. But in terms of additions that could have like helped them coming off the bench as impact players, they haven't really done much. They now have like your Sancho's who's on loan, obviously after having the likes of Donya Manlan, who just left, and Rashford there last season. And what's his name? The former Real Madrid player who's now at Fenerbahce. I keep forgetting his name. Asensio. So you're looking at when you look at it from that point of view, it's remarkable what they're doing. It's just the work of Emery. Emery is a good manager. He knows how to manage games. He's even overperforming his XG. There's a lot of there's war between that XG philosophy page on Twitter and Aston Villa fans because he keeps saying, XG will win in the end. So I hope it doesn't happen. I just need him to keep overperforming it. But I think top 5 is their most realistic option for me this season. Title,
I think that I don't think that they'll drop lower than 4th. I think that they've done enough to secure a top 4 finish, but also now in January it seems like they're going to be strengthening. They are interested in Ruben Loftus-Cheek to come in as replacement for Boubacar Kamara, who's I think out for the next couple of months with injury, and then I think that they're looking at Tammy Abraham and Mateta as striking options.
Because I think
he's been quite vocal about wanting to leave Palace this window. It's just not going great for Palace, guys. Like the decline that's happening at the moment over these, it needs to be studied. But like just back to Villa again, I think that they'll strengthen quite well in this window, and they'll try to make a solid push for the end. But I think that they'll make top 4 by the end of the season still.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it will be good for them as well. Because like Kenny said, it's remarkable what they've done so far, especially with the start of the season that they had. But moving on to the preview now of this weekend's game, and it's of course Manchester United against Arsenal. And it's a massive game. We wouldn't have thought that a couple of weeks ago, but since last weekend, I think it's a bit of a bigger game than we would have thought. And it's at the Emirates, though. Jason, are we scared? I say we. Are you scared a little bit? I know you.
Just get your jersey out, man.
That's actually the limited edition Arsenal jersey that he's wearing now. Never seen before, but it will be released soon.
I mean, you guys, I was a United fan a couple of weeks ago when Ruben was still there, and now all of a sudden I'm an Arsenal fan, so go figure. But are we scared a little bit that United are going to come there and do what they did against City, or are we feeling?
Thomas Frank has blood on his hands, man.
This is what he's driven me to.
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, I think the thing with United in the last few seasons where they've been in the transition is that they don't have a real system when it comes up against big teams. We'll sit and we'll counter-attack because we have a good offensive unit, right? So I think any team is nervous, but where it gets a bit tricky is where United have to sort of dictate and play the game and take the game to the opposition. I think in the City game,
you guys won't allow that.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I think all that they really need to do to frustrate us, which has been proven, is just sit a bit deep and just wait for us. And if you have any sort of capabilities that's a bit better than your Igor Jesus and your Callum Hudson-Odoi. There were chances there. So yeah, I think, like you say, a few weeks ago, I wouldn't have been nervous. The fact that they've literally got nothing else to play for, and there's this historical beef, right, where they've always done something to stop something of us. Like, I think back to that unbeaten run where the ref, the fans, Fergie were all on it.
Come on.
That one specifically still haunts my dreams maybe once a week. I think I should be a bit nervous, but I'd like to remain positive. I'm trying to be very optimistic about this team. I think we've done enough to prove that we are a force to be reckoned with. And this is just another challenge that we have to overcome. So, yeah, a little bit nervous, but I think a bit more confident in what we can do and how we can handle what United bring.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, it's difficult, I think, to kind of judge which United is going to turn up. But I think if you guys just kind of stick to your guns in the way you're playing, I think just having a little more penetration for teams that are sitting deep, I think you guys will come good. But Kenny, just in terms of that striking position, because like Jason said, it's not, you guys have a lot better opportunities, a lot better potential in the forward line than Igor Jesus and Callum Hudson-Odoi. I mean, the forwards are doing really well. Would you like to see the same forwards play in that same positions? Because I mean, Mbeumo was not really a striker, but he did really well playing there on Saturday. Dogu's not really a left winger, but he did really well there on Saturday. So would you go in and start the same three forwards for this weekend?
Yeah, I'll continue with the same formula. And it also goes back to the Liverpool game. When we played Liverpool, Šeško started off the bench. Amorim didn't trust him in a big game. And now also we go into the match against Manchester City. Carrick also doesn't trust him for that match. He starts off with Mbeumo, and it worked out. Going into the match, I personally felt maybe Cunha and Dogu would be the biggest losers. I thought what would happen was you have Amar on the right, you have Mbeumo on the left, and Šeško up front. But I was surprised when Mbeumo was the one that started as the striker, and Dogu kept his place, and Cunha was out of the lineup. So from that perspective, I think we should continue the same way. And I like Dogu's athleticism. He's quite a quick player. Mbeumo as well, quite a quick player. Ahmad, quick, tricky. I think that's what we need for this weekend. We need proper counter-attacking merchants like Bruno in there. That is the best approach. And you guys are right, Jason in particular. Yes, when we have to dictate play, we're not really the best team. We're not really I think the best game we've played against a smaller opponent was against Burnley, perhaps, because we played really well, even though we didn't win. I was shocked with the amount of chances we created and how we were quite positive in possession. But in these big games, our biggest strength is allowing the you guys, though, the bigger teams, the other big teams, to come at us, and then we catch them on the counter. So that's what I'm expecting. Tottenham, I don't know, man. I don't know about Tottenham.
Not us.
You guys always beating us, though. Yeah, you see, like, also going into this game, I guess these North London rivals, it's not been nice for us, like, in recent years. I think the last time we beat Arsenal was probably like in open play, like in regulation time, normal regulation time, was probably like 2019, the last time we won at the Emirates. Obviously, last season we won on penalties in the FA Cup, but Emirates has not been a happy hunting ground lately. So it would be quite nice if we can go there and, do something, get a win. And what's his name? Not Amorim. Michael Carrick has beaten Arteta before when he was an interim coach at Old Trafford. But let's see how it goes in this game at the Emirates. So, yeah, I would definitely keep the same forward line. I think just go with it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Just do it. And then having Cunha and Šeško as options off the bench isn't such a bad thing.
Yeah, I agree with you fully. And one guy we haven't spoken about is my boy Mason Mount. And even him off the bench, I think he provides a really good energy to when he comes on, he traces the ball, he gets into good positions as well. So I think the three of them as super subs will make a big difference. But in terms of the way that you want to play, like you both alluded to now, is United will probably play on the counter and Arsenal will have a lot of the ball. So to have kind of Bruno picking up those positions to kind of distribute to Ahmad, Mbeumo, Dogu, kind of running past him is going to be crucial. I don't think Sesko really works in that kind of game plan, unless you're behind, of course, and you want to bring him on to lump the ball into the box, and he's going to be a threat in the air. But AF, in terms of the game in general, do you think after this weekend, especially, that you can get a result, and where do you think is going to be important that you guys kind of exploit after Arsenal this weekend?
You see, it's been every time United come up with this like a really great result against another team, you're like thinking, oh, this is amazing. We are going to go on a bit of a run now, and then we are always disappointed in the game after that. Like I remember the feeling, the exhilaration that I felt like when Ahmad scored that last minute winner against Man City last season, and I thought like, okay, amazing, we are going to go on this like sort of trajectory now. Like I think we finally found our the way to play. The players are buying into everything, and it didn't turn out that way. So, I mean, it's been one game under Carrick. We played really, really well. There's absolutely no way that I'm going to get carried away with it. So, I'm still very much on the fence. I sound like you right now. Very much on the fence about how I'm feeling about if United's going to be able to carry this on. I won't even say that I'm cautiously optimistic at the moment, because we've only seen one game, so we need to be seeing more games, and we need to see more of how these players are buying into what Michael Carrick is trying to do. But I mean, if we get even half of what we saw last weekend, I would be completely chuffed with that performance, because everybody just looked like they were giving their all. They were playing for the badge, and that's, at the end of the day, that's all that we want from these players. We want to see that they care. We want to see that they care about the fans, that they know what the club means to the fans. So if they are giving 110% on that front, even if they lose, I'll still be feeling quite good.
I love that. And are you also, like Kenny, are you also starting the same team?
Like you said, like, if it was not broken, like, don't fix anything. Like, I think it worked quite well. I do think that Arteta is probably training his team for both scenarios, knowing the type of coach that he is, the methodical type of coach that he is. I think he's probably training them for Sesko number 9 and for Mbeumo number 9. So I don't think that United's going to be as free-flowing as we were last week. Just like Jason said not too long ago now, that like, the moment a team plays football, it opens up those spaces for Arsenal to sort of start dictating certain things. So I think that's also something that Carrick might also be thinking about. Like, okay, we can't be too open. We can try to play a bit of football, but let's have some sort of limitations. We're not playing at home, we're playing away. Emirates is probably going to be buzzing. They know what the fans over there, they know what's at stake for this game. So I think he's going to be quite strategic in how he sort of sets his team up, I think.
Okay, love it. Let's get into predictions. If you have any predictions in the chat, I see Mubin already said 3-1 to Arsenal. I mean, 3-1 to United. Sorry, Mubin. 3-1 to United already from Mubin. If you have any predictions in the chat, please put it in there. We're going to move on to predictions. Jason, in terms of Arsenal, just before you give me your prediction, tell me what you guys need to do to win the game. Would you be happy with a draw? Or how do you feel about the game in general? And then give me your prediction, please.
I think I kind of did express that there's a bit of a quiet optimism that I have right now. I don't think it would be happy. I mean, I take everything, right? There's nothing that I can do that's going to change what happens on the field. All I can do is that, either I'm happy at work or I'm not happy at work. But I think in terms of the sort of run that we want to put together, and with everything that we've come through, especially with the Liverpool game, with the Nottingham Forest game, it's good momentum to get this win, especially going into the last round of the Champions League, which we've basically secured either 1 or 2. So that's good for us. Then we've got the second leg of Carabao Cup coming up, and then a few sticky games coming. So you want to grab the points where you can. At home, we've been a bit more of a dominant side than away from home. I think there's definitely be goals in the game. We've scored 40. Man United have scored 38 goals. The big difference where maybe the goals don't come into play is that we've only conceded 14. Man United conceded 32. So there's gaps. But I think, true to form in the recent times, we've been a bit more successful against them at the Emirates. I'm going to go like a 2-1 Arsenal.
Okay, lovely stuff. AF, what's your prediction for the game?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like I said, I'm sitting on the fence with this one. I think Carrick he's probably also thinking that if he leaves the Emirates with a draw, he'll be happy. So I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Okay, lovely stuff. Give me a goal scorer if you don't mind. Who's gonna score?
My man Ahmad, man. Like, come on. Need Ahmad on the score sheet.
You'll have to see it. Cosmo saying, looking forward to a great game of football, definitely from both teams. I'm sure it will be a great game of football. Kenny, your prediction for the game, please?
Hey, I just want to say it's refreshing to hear rivals like Jason being quite cautious now because of what they saw over the weekend. I mean, if it was Amorim, he would have probably been very confident.
Yeah, no, that's a completely different thing.
I think I'm also gonna go for a draw. I'm hoping it's like an entertaining match. We get like a 2-2 draw, and it would be quite lovely to get like a late goal. So my goal scorers is a Bruno penalty, and then hopefully a Šeško header later on. And I'm hoping Mr. Gyökeres does not score over there. So yeah, I think a 2-2 draw. We just gotta make sure we avoid set piece scenarios. That's what I'm more afraid of. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't give him corners.
Yeah,
don't give him corners,
fouls.
man.
Nothing like that. Kenny stole my prediction, so I'm gonna change my prediction. I was gonna go for a 2-2 draw as well because I think that's what it will be. But I'll go with
more. Is it Arsenal or is it United? That's a question.
He supports Mason Mount. He's gonna pick Mason Mount as the goal scorer or something like that.
Now Mason Mount's best friend is Declan Rice, so now he's really conflicted. Now he's like, the guy's gonna get back on the fence now.
No matter who scores, okay, not who scores. No matter what the result is, if CSGO doesn't score, it's a win for me. I don't care if United win 6-0. If CSGO doesn't score,
what is this CSGO hate?
Okay, Kenny. So just for a bit of background on the CSGO hate, I used to really like Rasmus Højlund, and I see the buying of CSGO and the ousting of Rasmus Højlund as a sideways, if not a downward move, and I really hated the way that happened. So now I will hate CSGO for this season. That's basically why.
Only this season.
Yeah, we'll see next season what happens.
Rasmus comes back and then he's all good again.
We'll see about that. I want an exciting game. I'll go with a 3-2 Arsenal just because. I was gonna go with a 2-2 draw, but we'll go with 3-2 Arsenal just because. But yeah, that's our predictions for the game this weekend. And just because I'm early tonight, usually at this point it would be an hour, 20 minutes into the podcast, and I'd be raffling for time. Just because I'm an hour, I could end it now, but I don't want to. It feels awkward to for a podcast that I'm leading to end at an hour.
On that note, like there was something that you had in the brief that you went, you just skated over, and that was the West Ham vs Spurs game.
No,
and I don't want to analyze the game. I just want to say one thing. Based on the news that came out today, do you think that match was Crescencio Somerville's audition for Spurs? Because now it seems like that transfer might happen this month.
I really hope not. My word. What
are we doing? How many left wingers can you sign?
Yeah.
Didn't you sign Odebe? Didn't you sign Tal? You signed Kolomowani plays on the
Kolomowani
left.
plays there. Yeah, everybody plays there. I mean, what is the situation with this team? I mean, I don't understand. Crescencio Somerville, like I was saying about the whole Wayland and Sesko issue, that's a sideways or a downward move. Like, what's the situation?
Yeah.
Why are we looking at Crescencio Somerville? Like, I don't understand it. We sold our top scorer last season, Brennan Johnson, to Crystal Palace, and now we need a right winger. I mean, I don't understand it, but the reason why I skated over that AF was because it was either the Spurs game or the Villa game, So I was like, let's just rather talk about Villa. I don't really want to talk about Spurs. So I was like, okay, I can choose since I'm running this. I'll choose not to talk about Spurs, but hopefully we don't get Crescencio Somerville. I really don't want that. We got Conor Gallagher, which I'm kind of happy with. But yeah, it's just inconsistency, man. Watch how we lose to. We won last night. Watch how we lose to Burnley this weekend, or at least not win the game.
I personally don't see how Somerville is an upgrade on Johnson.
Agreed.
It just does not make any sense. If I was a Spurs fan, I'd much rather wait. If we are that desperate for like a new winger signing, just wait till the end of the season, man. Like if you can't find anyone else, so just wait till the. Somerville is all right. He's just okay. He hasn't even done remarkably well for West Ham after joining them from Leeds. But that's just my opinion on that.
If anything, and you want to go poach somebody, go after Jared Bowen.
Yeah,
I would much rather put him in the mix.
And he plays on
the
right.
What happened to the Savinho rumors? Are they over?
I think with all of City's injuries, they're not going to allow anybody to go. They're already selling Oscar Bob, and I think it ends with him.
Leave Savinho. I want Omar Mamouche. Let's get Omar Mamouche across the line because
Omar Mamouche is going to start picking up.
He was only one of 3 outfield or senior outfield players on the bench last night for City. Yeah. So there's absolutely no way that he's gone.
Neither do I.
I have absolutely no sympathy for them, right? And every season, gives them money. Like they've spent half a bill in a year. They spent 200 mil last year. They spent 300 in the summer. They basically they bought a whole brand new first 11 that's not even playing. They signed the one defender, send him out on loan. Their 100 mil winger is playing at Everton, who's now also out for like 3
Leave Jack out of
months.
this.
Yeah, no, but it's not anything on Jack.
It's the fact
that City. Yeah, it's the fact that City are spending. So I have no qualms in them fielding if he was the 103 experience. Like you can't spend 1,000 billion and then still not have players. Then that's like nah, bro. That's
and there's this narrative that they're always trying to create with Man City. Like they want you to believe that they are making bargain signings. Like Mr. Guhi there is on 300k.
Yeah.
There's somebody else gonna be free at the end of the season. Like I would have understood if it's 300k a week after you got him on a free, but you spend 20 million on him and he's gonna end 300k. You have Kusanov, who they spend over 30 million, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and then there's the defender you're talking about, that Reich kid at Girona now. They spend a lot of money on that kid. They spend a lot of money on Donnarumma. They spend a lot on Savinho. They spend a lot on Mamouche. These players aren't playing. Why are they not playing?
James.
Yeah, then there's Trafford.
To replace Edison. And then they signed Donnarumma. And then they signed Donnarumma just to bring in to be Trafford's replacement. And
I mean, Semenyo also, like you said, I think the only person that is okay that they signed that was actually on a cheap was Ryan Cherky. He's the only, and he's the one that actually makes a difference because they signed him for 20 million per steal, which is ridiculous. Yeah. But other than that, they're spending money for chips, and I'm with Jason. I feel not even close to sorry for them. They had one senior player on the bench. But we could end it now. Do you want to go? Do you guys want to? There was another segment that I didn't mention in the beginning, specifically because I didn't know if we would have time for it. But you guys want to go through it? You guys want to go through our predictions for our season predictions? We're going to go through it halfway, or do you want to do it next week? AF, Jason.
I'm good to do it now. If everybody else is good to do it.
Okay, let's go through it. Kenny, I'm going to start with you. What
Let's
was
give it a 1 hour 15 cutoff, so you have about
okay?
9 minutes.
Lovely
do it.
stuff. That's perfect. I was going to try and cut it off in 4 minutes, but that's perfect. Thank you. Kenny, in terms of the beginning of the season and your predictions now, has anything changed? What are your top 4 predictions? Who do you think is going to win the league this season?
Okay, I think Arsenal will win the league. I know it's going to hurt a lot of people. And I think City will make second place. I think we're going to shock people and crack third, eh? We don't have that many games left. We're going to make third. And I say fourth, Liverpool, fifth, Aston Villa. That's how I see
Lovely
it.
stuff. That's awesome. Some United optimism there. AF, do you share that? AF's predictions at the beginning of the season, he predicted Arsenal to win it, Liverpool to finish second, Chelsea to finish third, and City to finish fourth, with Spurs at 5. AF, tell me why you are completely wrong, please, and adjust it accordingly.
So Arsenal still wins the league in my opinion. I would probably swap around Liverpool and City.
Okay.
And then I would have Chelsea go to fifth. I still think United finish sixth. I don't think that I think it's gonna be Europa League for us next season. Come the end of the season, a lot of these teams are going to go all guns blazing. So yeah, I think Arsenal, City, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Chelsea. Is that 5?
That's 5, yeah. Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Chelsea, and the United 6th. Okay, we love to see it. I'm happy that you X'd us out of the top 5 there. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for being realistic. And you both kind of going for United to kind of finish top 6 here, which is good optimism. I do like it. Jason, I don't have yours here, but give me your top 6 for the end of the season. Do you think Arsenal are going to come away with it?
Yeah, I did mention Arsenal to win it. I did have Liverpool at second, I think, and I want to change that. I want to go City second. Yeah, I'm going to say Villa's going to maintain it. I think Unai, as much as he has a blunder in him, I think he'll have enough to get them over the line there. Fourth, I am going to go. I actually low-key think with the fact that United play once a week and they've got a new manager, yeah, I actually want to put them. I'm going to put them fifth and put Liverpool fourth, if I'm correct. And then I actually think Chelsea's going to drop out. They're going to go back to the conference. So yeah, I'm going to put Newcastle at 6, and then yeah, I'm going to keep Brentford as they are. I think Brentford also, they are doing so well with limited budget and a stats-driven approach. Yeah, a stats-driven approach to signing players. Every season that they've lost a key player, they've just replaced him with somebody better. So if Thiago leaves, don't worry, we'll find somebody from Belgium that's going to score 15 goals for them. Easy.
I mean, they've even replaced the manager with a better manager, which is... in any case, my predictions for the season were, in the beginning of the season, were Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Manchester United, then Aston Villa. So now that we've gone through half the season, I'll have to obviously change it up a bit. Not in the first spot. Arsenal are going to win the league once again. We all predicted Arsenal are going to win the league, which is very impressive. We had faith in Arsenal, I guess. Well done, Jason. So far, halfway through, I'm not going to jinx you too much. Liverpool are going to fall out of it, I think. So we'll go City second. I'm going to go Aston Villa in third, Liverpool in fourth. And I'm going to give Manchester United the 5th spot because I like them more than Chelsea. And I don't like Chelsea at all. So I'll give Manchester United the 5th spot. And Chelsea can go 6th if they want. Unless Brentford, of course, come and take it away from them. But yeah, I'll go Arsenal.
You don't like the fact that Liam is aging men over at Chelsea?
I don't even know what that means, dude. Can you explain that to me? I don't even know what that means.
I don't think he understands what it means, but he was paid to waffle, so that's what he'll do.
Yeah, that was a terrible quote. Manage.
It was so bad.
Manage this man and age. That means you are aging man. What?
If you split manage into 2 words, it's man and age. Firstly, you can't split one word into two words. Like, what are you saying? And then
That guy
secondly,
was
it was
wanting
like
to break it down so that Cole Palmer would understand what his role is. He's here to manage him.
and and he said it with such a straight face, man. Ah, come on.
That club is a
Charleston's
bunch
a
of
bad
jokers.
They
Nah,
just
they're a
trolling.
bunch of jokers. They should be nowhere near top 4, top 5. Honestly,
Nah, they deserve the Conference League, man. Like they
Yeah.
need to go back there. They
Yeah,
really
sure.
need to.
They must. They can go defend their title there. But thank you all for joining us this evening. See, I did that almost 6 minutes AF. It was almost good. But thank you guys in the chat as well. If you guys are still around, make sure to give this stream a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet already. Please consider that. And yeah, we appreciate you guys coming through in the chat. Thank you guys as well. You're on the call with me this evening. Thank you guys for joining me, Jason, AF, and Kenny. Just in terms of where people can find you, AF, what's on the horizon, AF, where can we find you? I know it's the same, but give it to us anyway.
Yeah, no, same at AFCON everywhere. Yeah, nothing really big from our side. Just keep on looking at the channel, keep on checking our things out, and yeah, just make sure that you follow us on all the social media platforms.
Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Kenny, thank you for joining us this evening, my guy. Where can people find you on the socials?
Thanks for having me. People can find me on Twitter. I do occasionally post the YouTube short here and there, so you can find me on YouTube. You can find me under Kenny Apani or Leka Mania. My other name is Leka, so the Mania there, I just edited it. So that's there on my name. I edit the handle, so that's where you can find me on Twitter. If you do add me on Instagram, I don't know, I'll probably see it in like 6 months' time because I go there every 6 months. But yeah, that's where you can find me, mainly Twitter and YouTube.
Tell us,
Thank you so much.
Kenny, tell the people about your Twitter Spaces.
Kenny's big
on Twitter Spaces, and majority of his spaces are quite passionate. So
I do weekly spaces. Sometimes I'll do a space if there's like a major breaking story. It's called the Red Devil Space, # Red Devil Space. So yeah, it's a great platform. AF has been there supporting, listening, and yeah, I have regular speakers, and yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. I enjoy it. And this past week was one of the best. The one on the 19th of October, 2025, when we beat Liverpool, my best ever. Yeah, thank you guys.
Lovely stuff, man. Awesome stuff. So make sure to go follow Kenny there on Twitter and get involved in these spaces as well. Be sure to give it a look in there. Jason, your handles, please. Where can people find you? What's up? What's happening in the golf?
Yeah, look, so at Jason_Ronnie, the golf has really picked up now. PGA is back. There's a bit of movement in terms of the live golfers coming over to PGA, so that's exciting. Yeah, I'm going to be trying to keep up to date with that. Obviously, Prem, Arsenal in all of the remaining competitions, so most of my thoughts and most of my retweets will be confirming some of my biases, I suppose. But yeah, I also want to spend a bit more time. I haven't been keeping up to date with the PSL. Obviously, grew up watching a lot of that. So yeah, I'm hoping my team can win the Upteens trophy again. But looks like Pirates my challenger. So yeah, we'll see. I'll be trying to keep up to my Sundawana all the way, my friend. All the way. Cabo Yellow.
Yeah, now we can get along there.
Cabo Yellow all the way. Back in the days, used to watch Peter and Glovo do his thing, Ezram Nyandoro. So it's not this plastic success of recent years. So yeah, hopefully get a bit more PSL, and yeah, that's the kind of outlook for the remaining bit of Jan, Feb, and March. Before it gets to the crunch time in the running.
Yeah, I'm sure crunch time will come sooner rather than later. And good luck to you also, Jason, for your first derby as a married man. So good luck with that. I'm sure you won't have to face any bad, looks coming your way if Arsenal do beat United this weekend. Good luck.
I'm not sure which side of the bed is going to be cold, but I just know it's going to be interesting.
I'm sure it will be. But thank you guys all for joining us this evening. Follow the channel at Sportycast on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter, on all the social media platforms, on Instagram as well. It's at Sportycast. So be sure to follow us. Ziad gives us really cool updates on the news on Twitter almost daily. So make sure to check us out on there. All sorts of sporting news across the world is updated on the Twitter, I suppose, the Twitter handles on Twitter social media. See how out of touch I am on social media. I don't even know what to call these things. But make sure you check us out on all these platforms. We appreciate you coming by, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.